Hello friends, this is your Trendline Investor today again, providing the Nifty Outlook and the Trading with Trendline Investor series for the 20th of July 2021. So as usual, we'll be having this video divided into two parts. First, we start off with the Nifty Daily Outlook for today, and then we cover the Trade with Trendline Investor series, and we look at a very interesting stock today which has moved brilliantly in this last session for us. So if you're looking to only watch, or if you're interested only in the Trade with Trendline Investor series, then you can directly head to the second part of this video, or else you can continue watching this video. Now, for people who have subscribed to my channel and if you're new to my channel, the Trade with Trendline Investor series is a positional trading series where I trade with a starting capital of 1 lakh, and I will be sharing every trade with you and all the learnings with you on a daily basis. I'm sure this is going to benefit you, especially if you're a losing trader or if you're just starting off in markets, because risk management is what most of us forget. And I'm going to focus especially on that. I'm not going to focus on the strategies much, but I'm going to focus more on the risk management. And also we look at how we enter stocks, how we exit stocks. So do join me if you haven't yet. This is a very exciting series. So let's jump into the first part of this video, which is the Nifty Outlook. So this is what I'll be covering in the Nifty Outlook. So we'll start off with what happened to the markets today, and then we look at any key learnings, and also we look at what is my view on the markets for today, what is my short plan and what is my long plan. So if you also have a plan, then don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to comment in the section in the video below, in the YouTube channel below, or else you could also let me know if you have any questions in my Twitter or in the comment section. So first part, what happened to the markets in the previous session. So we had a massive red day today, and we had some strong selling right from the starting to this morning. So let's look at the chart and see what it's telling us. So the primary trend line that we have been looking at since many months now is again providing support. If we see today, we are right around the primary trend line again, and again it is providing support, and this trend line is actually very significant. And don't forget that we are in a long-term uptrend, and still Nifty is looking good. So there is no reason to be bearish as yet. Just because the markets are not moving for many weeks or many months, it doesn't mean a stock is bullish or stock is bearish. So whatever the trend is, prior trend, it will keep continuing unless there's a breakdown or a breakout from the previous trend. So again, as I mentioned, Nifty is very close to the trend line, so nothing to worry as of today. And I also mentioned in one of the videos that we might do or test again 15,700 levels before we head higher. Now, many of you might ask, what is the reason for that, right? So we tested here and we went higher, but then there is this nice gap over here which is still pending. So actually Nifty might still go high, come back once more, and then probably we might head higher, or we just probably this is the last test and then we head higher. No one knows, but that's the reason why I mentioned that we might test again 15,700 again. Now, I hope that reason was clear. If not, do ask me in the comment section. So also, what was the short plan for yesterday? Our short plan was to short around, just switching to the 5 minutes charts. So based on the previous video, our short plan was to short around, this level around 15. I think I mentioned 15,870 with a stop at 15,880. But just notice what happened this morning, right? We opened right around that level and we could not close for 2, 3, 4 candles, and then we dipped down. Now, as soon as you notice this candle and you notice this wick over here, and if you're good in trend lines, you should shift your trend line to test that wick and this wick and see if it is touching perfectly. And now we have 1, 2, and 3. Now this is a very valid trend line, a perfect trend line. And then again we went high, and then again we got rejected around that point, and again we came down. Now even if you did not short, after looking at this candle, you could have probably shorted the markets at this point, right? So I mentioned 15,870 as the levels to short, and I mentioned stop at 15,880, but right in the first 5 minutes, it's usually not good to take a trade. But even if you had took, you could have probably held on to the trade because we didn't close above the trend line. And later you could have shifted the trend line and you could have held on to the trade. Or if you did not enter here, then at least you should have shorted here when we had this breakdown at that point. So that's what we discussed, and I hope that reasoning was clear. And always, even if you're not sure about the trend lines, at least wait for a swing low to form and then short below that swing low. But if you had shorted today was an awesome day, awesome trending day. You'd have made good money on the options or even in futures, right? And also the other plan was to short below 15,765, which was this low. So even if you're afraid to short there, you could have probably shorted at this point when we had a breakdown here, because we kind of reversed and then broke down. And again, even when we retested, you see again we had a red candle, so even you could have shorted here. So there were multiple opportunities today on the short side. And as I always mention, as I've been mentioning in the last couple of videos, the short-term trend is down because we did break from here, and then I said that this is a probable short yesterday, and since then FCG is forming lower highs and lower lows, right? So that's the plan that we had, and if you had executed based on the plan, you would have made some money. But nonetheless, I hope you are learning from my videos. So if it does help you, do subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and do share this video with your friends. So we continue to remain short on Nifty as of now. The trend is completely down. There is no reason for you to go long as of now, right? But as usual, what's the learning from yesterday? So I have basically there's no major learning, but do note that days like yesterday is when you make most of the money. And if you know the Pareto principle, 80% of the profits come from 20% of the trades, right? This applies to any aspect in your life. So you can't make money, you can't make big money every other day. You will make big money only in 20% of your trades, and that is going to be the biggest money in your overall profits. So always try to preserve your capital so that you take advantage of days like yesterday. So yeah, keep that always in mind. But what's my view for today? My view for today is we go long only above this point. Now if you see, this is a point where we've kind of retested, broken down, we retested, and again we have come down. So we go long only above 15,780 levels, which is above this level, which is top at the swing low, whichever swing low we form. If we gap up above 15,780, so probably tomorrow if we gap up above 15,780, then also probably you can go long, but check for the stop and see if the stop makes sense, and then go long. But do remember, this is a bearish trend line, so if you go above 780, probably we're heading towards 15,850, 60 levels, right? So that's the long plan. What is the short plan? The short plan is we short only below 15,700 now. So this was the lows, so we're going to short only above this zone over here. Until then, no shorts, right? Or if you go probably head higher and then we again form the same kind of reversal, then you can probably short. Now that's my analysis, guys, for Nifty today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do have any questions still, let me know. But let's jump to the second part of this video. So today is the day 11 of the Trade with Trendline Investor series. So it's been not a crazy ride, but I think one stock has been giving some joy for at least people who are following me new and people who are new to markets. So in this series, I'll be covering, basically I'll be taking a look at all the trades that we had in Zerodha and what is the current status of it. Then I will be taking a quick look at the charts of existing holdings and if there are any other charts to look at. And then we'll review a trading journal, and also we'll update any stop losses if needed. And in case there are any new entries, we'll also look at them. Right, so quickly jumping into our stocks. Right, before that, let's look at Zerodha. Right, so as of today, so we are holding Upper Indices continues to be our biggest holding. So we are right now holding around 32,000 of the entire 1.01 lakh. So this is up 15.39%. We had an amazing day today and the previous day. So if you see, 4,391 rupees has come as profits, and our overall portfolio is up 3,300. Now I just mentioned 80% of our profits come from 20% of our trades. Now here, in fact, more than 90% of our profits is from that single trade, right? Because if you exclude losses, then that's the only trade which is in profits. Now this is what you need to understand in markets, right? So if you're new to markets, you cannot be looking to make money in each and every trade. That is the worst thing that you can do, because then your expectations are so high that you will tend to your fear and your greed will try to control your trades rather than the market, rather than just going with the flow of the markets. So if you're a newbie in the markets, if you're a losing trader, probably this is one of the reasons why you're not making money, right? You are expecting every trade to go in profits. Now remember, we had already we already had 4 exits. So we have booked around, around 2,220 rupees loss. So in spite of that, we've had a good trade, and that is kind of making up for losses. Now, how much higher this will go, no one knows. But for now, this is the trade that you need to focus on, and try to eliminate any of the other trades which are hitting your stop loss. Always try to control your stop loss to 1% of your capital at max, or probably even to 0.5% of your capital if you're even conservative. So that's the biggest learning that I want you to give from this series, is how are the biggest trades contributing to your overall profits, right? So that's a live example that we are seeing, and if you're trading with me, you would understand this as well. Now, just looking at other trades, so today we had Tata Steel Bhushan Limited, so that's another positive trade today, which is in the slight profits. Otherwise, I think we've had a decent day in spite of the market being so down. We had Kansai Nerolac, which wasn't that down, but Jubilant Ingrevia was one of the biggest losers along with Shriram Cement, right? But again, there's nothing to worry. None of our stops were hit, which is a very good sign, because few days before, when the market tanked, Shakti Pump stop loss hit, and we had a couple of other stops which were hit, and that's bound to happen in a market like this because it's very volatile, right? So that's the trade update. There was no new trades that were triggered today, so our GTT continues to remain the same. So our stop losses are updated. Now, in case the stop loss is not updated, let me know. But today we will update upper industry stop, but otherwise all other stops remain the same. Right now, jumping into the second part of this video, which is let's look at the trades themselves. So these are trades. So again, we had a beautiful day in upper industries. So if you are adding this with me, do let me know. And just a small thank you also, or just a small mention, Telegram or Twitter would be, good. But now what we're going to do is, since we had such a big move now, right, and today was results day, so I'm going to trail my stop loss now to this red candle over here, right, which is 600.6 is the low. So I'm going to trail my stop to 600, right? Now, again, there is a chance that we come back again down, or probably we consolidate somewhere around here. If you come back down again here, our stop is probably going to be hit. But if we go sideways, then probably a stop will not be hit. Now, we do not know what's going to happen, but for now, we've made this money and we want to protect that money. Okay, now this is one way to trail your stop, because the stock has moved so much. So I'm going to trail my stop and try to protect my profits. But in case you don't want to follow this, then you could use a simple, a super trend indicator, right? Something like this. And even then your stop is around 554.8, right? So if you want to tighten your stop, then you could use 10 ATR and probably, 2 period, 10 ATR and this one. So even in this case, it's 583, right? So that's why I don't prefer super trends or any other indicator for that matter, because they don't tend to, show you what was a swing low or swing high, but it's just a fixed indicator which keeps going higher. But apart from this, I also have one other thing which I used to follow along back, but which is nothing but the EMAs, right? So you have the 10 EMA, which is top, 20 EMA, 50 EMA, and 200 EMA. Now, this is also one of possible ways to trade. Now, if you see here, this stock is beautifully taking support around the 50 EMA every time before it moves up, right? So from here, again, we had a good move. And again, from here, we had a good move. From here, we had a good move. So every time if you see this stock, after going to the 50-day EMA, it goes up around 30 to 40%, right? So this is also possibly one of the ways to enter. So this is 26% move here. And if you see from here, we are already up around 30%, right? So that's one of the ways to enter stocks or to identify stocks, because moving averages are dynamic trend lines or dynamic, that's how they call it in market technical terms. So you could also use that to enter or trail your stops. But again, this is too deep for me, and I have a good 30% position size, so I don't want to keep here and lose all my profits. But you could use a 10-day moving average, and just exit if it closes below 10-day moving average, somewhere like this, right? So if you see here, the stock went all the way up, and the first time it closed below 10-day moving average was here. So you probably get out here or here, right? So that's one of the way to do it. There are a lot of other different ways of trailing stops, but for now, I'm just going to remove all this and keep my stop to 600. So let's update our stop here. I think I already did it. So if I go to stocks, I've updated my stop to 600. Now here, if you see, we are booking or locking in around, how much? Around 5%. Yeah, that's 30 points of our profits right now. Even though stock is at 660, I don't want to sell it off right now because the strong trend is very strong. It can go even higher, but for now I'm just locking in profits around 600. So if it goes below 600, I make 1,474 rupees, which is 1.4% of the overall portfolio. And right now, if you see, our risk reward is 3 RR, right? So 3R. So basically what this means is, we bet, how much did we bet? We bet our stop loss is 530 and entry price 565. So we bet 35 into 27 rupees. That's our amount that we bet on the market. So basically that's the amount we were affording to lose. So we could afford to lose so much of amount, but now we've made thrice that amount of the initial bet that we had, right? So that's a very good risk reward. Now that's why if you see, if we book today all the profits, we are able to cover 4 losses, right? So we are able to cover all the 4 losses that we had before if we book at 660 today. But I will not book it for now. I'll let it run and see where it goes. So that's the only stop which has been updated. But apart from that, let's look at other stocks. Again, FACT is just going sideways. Again it tried but couldn't cross. But if a cross comes here, we're going to have an explosive move. I'm just waiting for that to happen. So again, probably in a couple of days. But for now, this looks good. Nothing to worry. Now, Bhushan Steel Limited was one of the good stocks. It was in the green today. Probably it also has an event. I think Kansai Nerolac also has an event. Shree Cement also has an event. Sorry, Bhushan Steel Limited does not have. But for now, this is again trading in a rectangle pattern over here, and we had decent volumes in spite of the red market today. We had a good kind of closing as well, because why I say it's a good closing is because we tried to go above this point over here. So here, if you see, the high was 91. Again, the high was 91, and here if you see, we crossed 91 and went high. So probably some strength, but again, all the candles are within this green candle, right? So we just need to cross that green candle here for some good moves. So next is Jubilant Ingrea. We almost came close to a stop, around just 1%, missed by 1%. Our stop was 600, it came to 607, and right now it's 618. So it still, looks good. And we also had a nice reversal around that zone, right? So if you see, this was the opening price on that day, and we just reversed from that area. So still looks good. I'm just going to show shorter term charts, and we also had a higher high again. So let's not get into intraday charts, but I think for now, Jubilant Ingrea is nothing to worry about. Now, Shree Cement. Again, we had one more day inside that big green candle. Now, what I'm seeing here is 4 days of consolidation, right? And this candle has been completely within this candle. Now, what I'm going to do is, in case we head high, in case we cross 97, this high, 97.5, okay, it's 4.5, but 97.5, then I'm going to probably add more, and I'm going to trail my stop loss here, right? But only if we cross that high, 97.5, then I'll move my stop to 91, right? So, but from where will the money come? The money is probably going to come from, Kansai Nerolac, because this is the least, these two are the least holdings. So I'm going to keep this and this, and I'm probably going to move Kansai Nerolac money here, right? So basically I'm transferring the risk. So we have a risk of 713 Kansai Nerolac. I'm transferring that risk to Shree Cement. Okay, but the condition is we need to cross that. Until that, I will not sell it, but this should probably be tracked during the day. So probably keep an alert. You can keep an alert in TradingView itself. Just say crossing 90. What's the value? The value is 97.5. So you can just say crossing value 97.5, and then you will get a trigger immediately as soon as this crosses, right? So that's one of the way doing it. Or you can use investing.com as well. But that's the plan for pyramiding Shree Cement. Okay, but Shree Cement again has an inside bar, so nothing to worry about. Again, Kansai Nerolac had a dip towards this low, but again we are having some consolidation here, right? We have had 3 days of consolidation, and probably this is a flag pattern. I am not sure about that for now, but this is probably a flag pattern. But I'm not worried about that. So what I'm worried about is, will Kansai Nerolac cross this level, 636.5, right? So if you go to the hourly, you would see that was the highest point, or you can even do it here, right? But just keeping it very consistent always, just to give you a rule. So if it crosses 636.45 or 637, then I will probably, if Shree Cement crosses 97.5 or Kansai Nerolac, so whichever crosses that highs first, then I'm going to shift that money to this or this money to that, right? So I've given the entry levels here. So Shree Cement 97.5 is when we'll add more. Basically, we'll remove the entire money from Kansai Nerolac and move it to Shree Cement. And for Kansai Nerolac, if it crosses 637, and if Shree Cement doesn't cross 97.5, then I'm going to move the entire money from Shree Cement to Kansai Nerolac. Right now, what if both crosses? Right? If both crosses, just leave it, let it be. You don't have to do anything. But if one of them cross, then then shift the money from one to the other. Again, the concept here is we are going with the flow, right? And also the stop loss would be updated. For example, once you get the trade executed, the stop loss would be here 91, and then here the stop loss would be 610. Now if you see here, the risk has reduced, right? So that's why I'm moving the complete. So for example, if 91 Shree gets triggered, then I'll move the 700 risk there, or I'll just calculate the risk, and I'll have probably a 1,200 rupees risk over in Shree Cement, right? So that's the plan. I hope you understood this. If not, just keep it simple. If Shree Cement crosses 97.5, I'm going to invest the entire amount from Kansai Nerolac. I'm going to add more in Shree Cement. And if Kansai Nerolac crosses 637, then I'm going to move all the money from Shree Cement to Kansai Nerolac. So that's the simple plan, right? So otherwise, we've reviewed the stocks. Again, Shakti Pumps was in the positive today. Likita was in positive. As I always mention, Advanced Enzyme is about to break out. So do keep a track of this. It's going to give a very solid breakout in case you're not tracking this, right? So looking at the trading journal, which is the last thing that we do usually. So as of today, our portfolio value is 101,441. We had a cash of 283 and our portfolio value is 10158, right? So our portfolio has gone up. We've hit a new equity high. A new equity high means our portfolio has hit a new high, right? And our risk has come down from 5%. Our risk has come down to 2.4%, which means the chances of, if we hit stop, then probably we are going to lose only 9. We are going to our portfolio value would be 95717. So this was yesterday was around 93. So today we're back to 95, right? So that's the trading journal update. Now remember, I've kept the values here in case you want to know, and our plan for pyramiding is discussed. Otherwise, I think I don't have anything else. I hope you enjoyed this video today. I hope we get to see more, our portfolio goes up higher from here. And if you're enjoying this video, do let me know. And if you want to have any questions, just DM me on Twitter or ping me on Telegram and I can answer your questions. Otherwise, stay safe. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, do subscribe. Take care and have a good day. Bye-bye.